Make sure you watch to the end, because at the end, after I show the series of clips, I'm talking about Trey Lance, and I'm going to shock the heck out of you in terms of what I predict for Trey Lance in 2022. You will not want to miss this. Bengals make it to the Super Bowl. I'm ecstatic. You guys know how much I love Joe Burrow, how much I love Jamar Chase. I'm very pumped about this, but I'm a huge Bengals supporter. Look, I hit things, I miss things. I'm not trying to claim that I'm perfect in any way, but this victory was extra special for me because I can't tell you how much pushback I've gotten all year on my Bengals winning the division talk, my Jamar Chase is the answer in Cincinnati talk. Everybody had an opinion in the offseason. Again, I miss a lot of things, guys. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I hit everything, pat on the back, Smitty. But some things are worth reflecting on because there's learning moments. When people say, Smitty, you're crazy for liking Trey Lance so much for 2022. I've got content out there already where I'm talking about Trey Lance being top 5 to 7 for quarterbacks if Shanahan starts him in 2022. I think Shanny will finally move on after Jimmy G sold that championship game against the Rams last night, because people are coming at me so strongly about, hey, Smitty, you can't call Trey Lance
top 5 to 7
for 2022 without seeing him play.
He's not ready, Smitty.
The reason this Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase being the answer over Sewell, that Jamar Chase protects Burrow more than drafting an actual offensive lineman, the indirect relationship of drafting Jamar Chase protected Joe Burrow more than drafting a lineman in place of Jamar Chase. People call me crazy. I had former NFL coaches come on and think I was nuts the way I was talking. It's okay. I'm used to it. But here is a series of clips where we talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. The point being that you need to trust your gut. And when you feel something as strongly as I felt about the Bengals situation all around, from winning the division to Jamar Chase being the answer, not just a good addition, being the answer, trust your gut. Who cares what people say, even when they come in droves? Here's an example of what droves looks like. In my opinion, Coach, and you can tell me if you think I'm wrong, because I've been pushing this out for a while, but adding Jamar Chase does more for protecting Burrow and stretching out the defense than people I think are giving credit. I think you draft a guy. Well, they got an offensive lineman, coach.
You got to stop right there. Now you just said a receiver is better at protecting.
No.
Joe Burrow.
He does more than people are giving credit.
He doesn't. He can't protect Joe Burrow.
He's stretching the field, coach.
Stretching the field ain't got nothing to do with protecting Joe Burrow.
Well, you're gonna see.
I am all about the Bengals and this revitalization that's going on in Cincinnati, and I truly believe we might be looking at the Cincinnati Bengals giving at least 2, if not all 3, of the teams in their division, the Ravens, who we've seen Lamar Jackson completely gets weak and falls apart. We've seen it. He did it for half of a season. I don't care if he bounced back for the second half. We've seen it. We know Lamar's capable of breaking down. I'm not saying he's a bust. I'm not saying the Ravens will absolutely fall flat on their face, but we certainly do know they're susceptible. The Pittsburgh Steelers, now they've got Najee Harris. I do believe Najee Harris will help this team a ton, but are they susceptible to winning only 8 or 9 games? Yeah, that could happen. This idea that the Steelers, the Ravens, the Browns, this division is great. It's the best division in football. You know what? No, it's not. That's right. The NFC West, the strongest division in football, bro. The strongest division in football. It's not the Browns, the Steelers, and the Ravens. The Bengals will give that division a run for their money. I'm telling you right now, it's like a 2,300 to 1 type of odds in Vegas that I'm gonna put a hundy on that. I'm gonna put a hundy on that, man, because that'll pay some for some breakfast sandwiches, bro.
You had AJ Green. You had the young kid from
AJ
Clemson,
Green.
Higgins. Oh, I coached AJ Green.
But he's older.
No. I don't care if he's older or not. He can still run, and he's still respectable in this league. You're talking about AJ Green.
He's in the Cardinals, so I'm happy to see him. But
and Tyler Boyd.
Yeah,
that wasn't good enough.
So you think they messed up, is what you're saying?
I'm saying that if you don't protect this guy, We just watched when he didn't have very good protection, he got hurt.
Right.
He got hit a lot. He probably was the most hit quarterback in the National Football League until he got hurt.
Right.
So if you don't protect him, you may not have him. And so mentally heading to this season, if I'm Joe Burrow, I love that I got Jamar Chase, but where did you improve for me on the offensive line?
They drafted offensive lineman. It was a deep class.
They drafted a guy that they said who played tackle in college that's going to try to make a guard. I'm not talking about guards. I'm talking about the guys on the edges that's got to block Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, those goons that's at Baltimore, the goons that's at Pittsburgh. You got to block these guys. Hello.
I mean, you make a point that a lot of people make. So definitely, you're not alone, Coach. And majority feels the way you feel. I know that example, and this is a different scenario, but I always give it to people, is that Arizona had a bad offensive line when Kurt Warner came here, and a quick release, spread out attack did numbers for that. And I feel like Jamar Chase is such a difference maker, and you're gonna see a stretched out field. We'll see if they get it done. If they can piece together a better offensive line than people are expecting, I think we're going to see this offense completely look different in 2021, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I think Burrow.
Oh no, I don't disagree with you if they can, but that's a big if. I'm gonna say this again. Within that division, you're now blocking Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett. I didn't even talk about the young man who's at Pittsburgh who is playing his tail off right now. One of those Watt brothers. So trust me when I tell you that is a tall task.
Yeah.
Within the division, you play them twice. You don't play them once, you play them twice.
Chase to Cincy. When I talk about this topic, I can't tell you how many people say the same thing to me over and over and over. Smitty, if you don't protect Burrow, how is he going to throw the ball to Chase? What? Hold on. Smitty, if you don't protect Burrow, he won't be able to throw the football to Jamar Chase. Smitty, you have to protect Burrow. Smitty, by not taking Sewell, you're not protecting Burrow. As if I don't know what I'm talking about. As if I don't understand that you need to protect Burrow. What do I look like? A moron? Well, it does come down to coaching, and it does come down to whether they can piece together a good enough offensive line. I agree with that. I just think to pass on Jamar Chase would have been a big mistake, in my opinion, because
I'm not running from that.
Yeah. Okay. We're really on the same page, Coach, because
but we're not. So where is the offensive line for this quarterback?
So what do you think is going to happen in 2021? You think it's going to be?
I don't have that. I don't know. I think they're still right now they're either the third or fourth best team in the conference.
Okay. I've told you over and over that Jamar Chase indirectly helps that offensive line and Joe Burrow stay healthy as much as drafting Sewell himself. And maybe you don't feel this way about Jamar Chase. And that's where the divide is. That's where you and I part ways on the topic. And that's fine. We're all allowed our opinion. But Jamar Chase is a generational talent. So I'll leave you with this, and we're going to go to the whiteboard real quick. And I'm going to show you another example of people that are about to bring heat on me for bold and ahead of the curve type stances. And it's fine. Again, I don't care. I have thick skin. But my job is to try and help you win. And when you see these things get shot down, it makes it easier in hindsight to be like, okay, I don't need to listen to just what the masses are saying. Look at all these people that were dead wrong about the Bengals, how far they get, and Jamar Chase. So take it for what it is. Take in advice from everybody, but make sure you don't let people detour you away from your gut instinct and bold predictions and things you think could happen because they're not popular. Who cares what's popular? And to the board, I will prove it. When you're ranking quarterbacks for 2022 and you come across Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, and this was a joke 3 weeks ago, even 2 weeks ago, people said this was too high. Let's see how people really think about the Joe Burrow predictions we've dropped on the channel, even this past month when I said he is the third quarterback in 2022. Go read the comments of that video and see the stark difference between what people say now and what they say later. And back to the board, I will tell you this. Number 4 overall for me is going to be Herbie. And this is where the pushback happens. This is where people are going to get crazy. This range right here is where you're going to have a plethora of people like A-Rod, depending on where A-Rod goes. You might have Kyler right here. Some would have Lamar Jackson, but I'm not high on Lamar in 2022, and I'll tell you more and more about that in the offseason. But he's a guy I'm going to predict has a decline and a guy you should stay away from at the cost and value given the other options. But the one guy that I'm going to get tons of pushback for is what I mentioned at the top, is my Trey Lance prediction. Not only is Trey Lance in this group of 3 that makes up this 5, 6, 7 range, he could be the top 1. I think if A-Rod lands in a good spot like potentially Pittsburgh, he would be the 5 probably for me walking into 2022 fantasy football QB rankings. But if, let's say, Trey Lance is anointed the starter and Shanahan could crap on that parade, but if Trey Lance is starting in 2022, it wouldn't shock me at all if Trey Lance became that 5 or 6 quarterback in 2022 fantasy football scoring. And you can at me all you want. You can call me names all you want. You can tell me that I'm off my rocker all you want, but you just witnessed how it doesn't bother me, and you can bring it. And I want you guys to feel that confident too when you have a gut instinct or you've taken in information and you agree with it. Who cares what people think? Draft smart, use ADP to your advantage. Do you draft Trey Lance at number 5 for all quarterbacks if you don't need to? No, you use logic, you use ADP, you use best player available approach, but you do not let people influence you into not trusting your gut into 2022 and beyond. Let's go to work.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.